He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Manash Mishra.
Sarvamangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Saranye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Prithvi Shanti Nakshatram Shanti Antariksha Shanti Sarvam Shanti. Aham Brahmasmi. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to the people from the other side of the world. Welcome you all. So as we begin again on this satsang, I want all of us to just close our eyes for a moment so that we are all aligned back to the space that we want to be in. So as you close your eyes, just try to calm your mind. And in order to do that, just create a link, like a light burning in your heart and a light sparkling in your head. At a physical realm, you just imagine this. That's what I am saying of. Just imagine there is a light in your heart that is white in color, and there is also a light that is sparking in your head. And that light that is sparkling in the head is trying to connect back to the heart. A simple straight line of white light coming and joining the heart. And all that you have to do is just observe that happening. Just for a few minutes, sit quietly and just observe this connectivity between the head and the heart. And you will automatically notice the breath pattern will become very, very subtle, very, very slow, and slowly it's like a curtain of calmness will fall on you. मानो एक सरलता की शांतपन का चादर एक आपके ऊपर ओढ़ दिया गया. तो एक कनेक्टिविटी आपको बनानी है आपके मस्तिष्क और आपके हृदय के साथ. मानो जैसे दो उज्जवल बिजली की तरंगें एक दूसरे के साथ जुड़ रही हैं और आप उसे बस ध्यानपूर्वक देख रहे हो. You have become just the witness of that. Allow yourself to settle down. And in order to make this more peaceful and happy, the moment you feel there is a connectivity between both the head and the heart, you just add a little ingredient or the magic potion that cannot be found anywhere else but within you. And that is a speck of your own bliss. How to do that is very simple, by bringing a slight curve upwards of your face. आपके चेहरे के आपके मुस्कुराहट, अगर आप एक छोटा सा मुस्कुराहट आप लेके आते हो, क्योंकि ये जो आनंद की परिवृत्ति है ये और कहीं नहीं, बिल्कुल आप ही के अंदर समाहित है. And when you bring that smile on your face, you will see that the connectivity and that smile create the absolute magic, where the seer is now able to see that this vessel, which is the body, is like a clay pot, yet it is filled with the nectar of life. ये जो शरीर रूपी जो घड़ा है, ये तो मिट्टी के घड़े के समान है जो टूट जाएगा, मगर इसी घड़े के अंदर अमृत समाहित है जो कि स्वयं आप हो. It's no one else but you. So जैसे एक मिट्टी के घड़े में भी अमृत को रखा जा सकता है, बिल्कुल उसी भांति उस रचनाकार ने भी इस हर क्षण बदलते हुए घड़े के अंदर, जो एक ना एक दिन टूटना ही है, उसके अंदर भी अमृत को सजा रखा है. एंड दैट इज योर ट्रू सेल्फ. The more and the more you realize that, the more and more you get silent. The body just sits still like a pot. बस एक घड़े के भांति आपका शरीर एक ही जगह स्थिर हो जाएगा। और आपकी बुद्धि में उठे हुए तरंगों को भी जब आप बिल्कुल देखते रहोगे, वो भी अपने आप स्थिर होते चले जाएंगे। The ripples created by the mind will also settle down. Now with a small little prayer in your heart that now in this moment, I just pray to the divine to cut down my past and cut down my future as well, allowing me to be here and now. Just here and now. And when you are feeling like you are somehow, somewhere here and now in this moment, just repeat the words after me. You can repeat it within your heart. मैं अपने उस एक का भी अंत करता हूं। और अपने अनंत स्वरूप में विलीन हो जाता हूं। So be in that space for a minute or two. And now just take a slow, deep breath. एक धीरे से एक गहरी सांस अंदर, and slowly leave it through your mouth. Do this 3 times, and after that you can open your eyes. So welcome back. Especially the people in India, those who have woken up or awakened in the early morning hours. For them, it is a much, much better way, because that sleep that we all look forward to. It's just like this, like the nature is a sleeping god. And enlightenment is the awakened nature. So we will try something like that today again. And Atato Brahma Jigyasa. That's why we should search the Brahman. Because if we all look at our lives, people are trying to get back to certain thing which has been their previous nature. They're trying to, they have a very severe pull from the past shore, means वो पिछले जन्म के या उसके वृत्तियां जो रह गई हैं, वो आपको अपनी तरफ बहुत तेजी से खींचती हैं. And when that pulls you, we have a tendency of going back into that space of being an animal again. And the most amazing thing that we do and we see is, if somebody is sitting and chanting a mantra, we won't stop. But if two people are fighting, people will put their bike aside and see what is exactly happening there. They won't do anything. They only watch it. And just say something was about to start and somebody intervened. Some people feel so, oh, I missed this show. Something should have happened, but nothing happened. So they miss the show and like they feel like it was not a good day. So where do you find more people? You see, in the traffic also, if some two people start fighting, if you really want to get attention of people, you should fight on the street. And you see, the entire world will listen to you. Because the entire world is trying to find that happiness in that, unaware of their true nature. They're trying to be, the only difference between this animal and a human is what? The animal does not know about his existence. And that's why it is somewhere silent, but it's like a sleeping silence. But humans, they know that they are. And that is where the next question begins. If I am, then who am I? एक जानवर कभी उस चीज के बारे में नहीं सोच सकता, क्योंकि वो उसको ये भी पता नहीं कि वो है। जब उसे ये पता भी नहीं है कि वो है, तो वो ये कैसे ढूंढ सकता है कि मैं कौन हूं। लेकिन क्योंकि मनुष्य जानता है कि वो है, उसका ये दूसरा सवाल आना लाजमी है, दैट इट विल कम एनीवेज, कि अगर मैं हूं तो मैं कौन हूं। सो देयर इज ए पोटेंशियल देयर। The animals, without this knowing also, somehow they are silent and happy. And we people, by looking at them, we think like, okay, we can do that. So what do people do? People take on intoxications. कुछ पी लो, कुछ खा लो, थोड़ी देर के लिए आप भी बेहोश हो जाओ. They are trying to find that happiness in that ignorance. वो बेहोशी में उस शांति को प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं कि जो संभव नहीं है. इस प्रसंग में बात करें तो मनुष्य 3 तरीके के जीवन जीता है. There are 3 ways a person lives their life. The first one is whatever he has been taught, whatever he has been said, बचपन से जो भी बताया सिखाया गया, they will just live their life like that. Anything good, bad, ugly happens, सब मेरे पिछले कर्म हैं, मेरा किया कराया है. So all these things they will just tell that, and somehow they just live that way. वो कहते हैं ना, गोइंग विद द फ्लो. ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग मिल जाएंगे आपको. जीवन में कुछ भी है तो शांत रहते हैं ज्यादातर समय, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट they feel they have the power, that's why they are happy. No, they feel they cannot do anything, that's why they just go with the flow. And then comes the second kind of life that people live. They somehow realize that they have some power, and then they start questioning everything. They question the stars, the sun, the moon, the grass, you, them, this, that, everything. वो हर चीज के ऊपर सवाल उठाना शुरू करते हैं. And yesterday I was going through that. There was a small little clip that came मेरे सामने कल आया. It is so beautifully says one thing. It says science cannot create. Science explores creation. Yet we believe in science and discard creation. Does it make sense? Science is not able to create anything, but yet we give in the name of science. Now tell me, what has science created? You remember, Haribhai used to say, like, there was a lab and that one scientist came running towards another scientist who was a bit of a spiritual scientist. And he says, oh, I found out how to create a new world. Then this person says, wow, wonderful. How are you going to do that? No, I will take a little soil, I will take a little water, I will become a combination of that. He says, oh, wait. First bring your soil and bring your water. Create that first and then you create the world. Yet what we wait for? We wait for certain thing to happen. Like, we need a scientific proof. Now, how will science prove something that it does not even understand? I don't say it is wrong, but the only thing is, at times, that knowledge becomes the stopgate for your advancement. Can you say, like, when I understand the sun, then only I will use the sun's power? I will only drink water when I understand what H2O exactly means. Then you will die thirsty. So there comes a way. So, but when I was talking about there are certain people, no, they will always question that. And in that questioning, what is happening is, again, they are losing their happiness and patience. And then comes the third kind of person who has gone through both. He has lived a life, as said, and then he has questioned everything. And after that, he says he understands that science cannot prove everything. Everything cannot be said in words. And then, instead of waiting for that, he starts becoming it. Instead of standing on the end of the question, he says life is not all about questions and answers in a box. The life is me, myself. And that day when it explores itself, that is the day when he finds peace, despite living a passionate life. And that day, he realizes himself. इसीलिए कहते हैं सुषुप्ति और समाधि में बहुत ही कम फर्क है. सुसुप्ति में भी आप परमात्मा से मिलते हो और समाधि में भी आप परमात्मा से ही मिलते हो. सुसुप्ति हम सब उसमें जाते हैं. नींद में जब गहराई में उतर जाते हैं तो सुषुप्ति अवस्था वो होती है जहां पे ना कोई स्वप्न है, ना कोई चिंताएं हैं, ना कुछ है. वो हर दिन ये तो हमारे साथ घटती है, लेकिन हम बेहोशी में ये करते हैं. एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी डोंट इवन नो व्हाट हैपेंड. इसलिए किसी ने खूबसूरत से कहा नवनीत जी की, कृष्ण से तो हम रोज मिलते हैं, याद नहीं रहता उस समय का और ना ही कृष्ण के उस छवि का. And then when you had a good night's sleep, what do you say? A good night's sleep is when you wake up, you feel so energetic. Why? Because in that moment, you connected with the source. Even if you sit down and meditate for 2 minutes, you experience the same thing. The reconnectivity, the connectivity with the source itself creates that energy within you. मगर सुषुप्ति क्या है? You don't know you are connected. Samadhi क्या है? You know you are connected. So considering these three type of people, one that goes with the flow, does not question anything, just lives a life like a rock. मतलब आया हूं, ये सब करना है, जाना है. And the other kind of person who questions everything. And then the third kind of person. In such case, एक गांव में एक गुरु थे और वो गुरु प्रवचन कर रहे थे. प्रवचन में उन्होंने ये बताया कि मनुष्य का जीवन बहुत दुर्लभ है और वो जितना समय बाहर की दुनिया को जानने में लगाता है या अपना जितना समय बाहर के दुनिया को सजाने के लिए लगाता है, वो उतना समय अपने अंतरात्मा को जानने के लिए, समझने के लिए या सजाने के लिए नहीं लगाता. और जिसने भी ये कार्य किया, जिसने अपने अंतरात्मा को जानने की कोशिश की, अपने बारे में जानने की कोशिश की, उसने बुद्धत्व को प्राप्त किया. So there should be a journey within, not only going out, it's coming within as well. And everybody was listening and सत्संग समाप्त होता है, लोग घर चले जाते हैं. But there was a young kid who did not go home. He came back to the Guru. And you remember, I also told you another story of Gautam Buddha, one when he told that everybody is sleeping, no one is awake, and he ended the session. And the very next day, one person could not digest that statement, and he goes to Buddha and says, how come can you say that everybody is sleeping, and but I was awake? And then Buddha smiles and says, yeah, that is true, because all the people went back to home, you came back to me. That itself says that you were not sleeping. See at other people, they're still sleeping. And that is how now ये लड़का जाता है गुरु के पास और कहता है कि मुझे भी वो अंतरात्मा के रास्ते चलना है. How can I go? I also want to know that path, the path within. तो गुरु कहते हैं ठीक है, very good. He picks a rock that was lying by his side, takes it in his hand and says, take this. ये पत्थर लेके जा और इसकी सेवा कर, and you will find a way back home. तुझे अपने अंतरात्मा की खोज का पता चल जाएगा. इसको लेके जा, 30 दिन सेवा कर इसकी. You do the सेवा of this stone. He takes it, goes away. 30 days gone. No starting of internal journey. Comes back. He says, Guruji, you said like for 1 month I should do this, and then I will be beginning my inner journey. मेरा अंतरात्मा का जो चलना है वो शुरू हो जाएगा, लेकिन कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. तो गुरु कहते अच्छा ओके ओके, वो पत्थर दे दे मुझे. ओके ओके ओके, पत्थर को देखते अच्छा उससे रख देते, ठीक है, ये दूसरा और एक पत्थर वहां से उठा, ये लेके जा, इसकी सेवा कर 30 दिन के लिए. अच्छा बच्चा है, लेकिन जो गुरु कहते मानता है, जाता है फिर 30 दिन सेवा. 30 दिन के बाद अंतरात्मा की मार्ग पे चलना शुरू नहीं होता है. फिर आता है, गुरु जी आपने कहा था 30 दिन. गुरु फिर पत्थर देखते, अरे रे 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 रे, अच्छा ये वाला दिया था क्या, अच्छा उसको रख दे, और एक ले. ऐसे करते करते गुरु 12 पत्थर दे दिए उसे. 1 साल बीत गया, अंतरात्मा की जर्नी शुरू ही नहीं हो गई. फाइनली आता है और कहता है गुरुजी 1 साल हो गए, वो अंतरात्मा की चलना कब शुरू होगा. गुरु और एक पत्थर उठा ही रहे थे, तब शिष्य कहता है और पागल मत बनाओ. और गुरु तभी हंसने लगते, बोलते अब बैठ. गुरु पूछते क्या हुआ ना. अगर ऐसे पत्थर की सेवा करते करते अगर ऐसा हो गया होता तो आप जितने पत्थर आज तक लोगों को बांटे होते सब जाग गए होते. आपको कुछ कहने की जरूरत नहीं थी, सबको एक एक पत्थर ही दे देते हैं आप. तो गुरु कहते हैं इसी को समझने के लिए तुझे 1 साल लग गया. चल ठीक है, अभी भी तेरे अंतरात्मा की रास्ते जाने की शुरुआत तो नहीं हुई, लेकिन कम से कम तेरे अंदर वो जिज्ञासा जाग गई है. नाउ यू हैव द क्वेश्चनिंग एबिलिटी. आज तक तेरे पास वो क्वेश्चनिंग एबिलिटी भी नहीं थी कि मैं क्यों पत्थर दे रहा हूं, क्या कर रहा हूं, ये तू पूछ भी नहीं रहा था. और जिसके पास ये जिज्ञासा ही नहीं है, वो अपने आप को क्या जानेगा. So until you have that questioning within you, you cannot know yourself. So do one thing. You go. Now you have gotten the idea to question. तेरे अंदर जिज्ञासा की शक्ति जाग गई है, जा इसे इस्तेमाल कर और मेरे पास वापस 1 साल के बाद आना. ये जाते जाते शिष्य को लगता है कि अरे वाह, ये कुछ अलग चीज सीखा मैं, क्योंकि उसने गुरु को भी कह दिया था कि पागल मत बनाओ। तो इसे लगा कि मार्ग यही है कि क्वेश्चनिंग इज द मार्ग, सवाल पूछते रहना ही उस रास्ते को खोलेगा। और जाता है और हर चीज को क्वेश्चन करना शुरू कर देता है, स्टार्ट क्वेश्चनिंग एवरीथिंग। इस हद तक कि अगले 2-3 महीने के अंदर लोग उसे डरने लगते हैं कि जहां जहां कोई कोई बैठ के प्रवचन देता है वो वहां पहुंच जाता और उनको सवाल करने लगता, और वो सवाल के जवाब वो नहीं दे पाते और ये अपने आप को ज्ञानी मानने लगता। फिर लोग भी इसको समझने लगे कि अरे, ये व्यक्ति जो हमें सिखा रहे थे, इसके सवाल से वो भाग गए, मतलब ये बड़े गुरु हैं। और ऐसे करते करते उसके अंदर और वो बढ़ता गया कि अब मैं कुछ बन गया हूं। और 1 साल के अंदर उसकी इतनी ख्याति हो गई कि ही वॉज लाइक ए क्वेश्चन बैंक, कि इसे सब पता है और ये जो तर्क देता है ऐसा तर्क कोई नहीं दे सकता। And then after 1 year, he returns back to the Guru. As usual, he goes and says, गुरु ने कहा आ गए, अपने अंतर मन की यात्रा शुरू कर ली, मार्ग मिल गया। तो कहता है मार्ग क्या, मैं तो अभी सर्वश्रेष्ठ बन गया हूं, अब तो लोग मुझसे डरने लगे सिवाय आपके, क्योंकि आपने मुझे 1 साल का समय दिया था इसलिए आया नहीं मैं, अब आज आया हूं आपके पास, अब आप मेरा सवाल का जवाब दो। तो गुरु मुस्कुराते कहते पूछो। तो कहता है क्या भगवान कण कण में है? तो गुरु मुस्कुराते कहते देखा, आपको भी नहीं पता। गुरु कहते क्यों, तुम्हें क्या लगता है? तो कहता है भगवान है ही नहीं, अगर होता तो दिखाई नहीं देता, अगर होता तो लोगों के जीवन में इतना दुख दर्द थोड़ा ही ना होता है, अगर भगवान होता तो इतनी तेज धूप, इतनी तेज बारिश, इतने लोग मृत्यु को प्राप्त हो रहे हैं, ये सब होता क्या? तो गुरु मुस्कुराते हैं फिर से। ये तो गुरु कहते हैं कि सही बोल रहा है, और ये बता देखा, मैं अभी सिर्फ अंतरात्मा की यात्रा पे नहीं, मैं उससे कई आगे निकल गया हूं, जो चीज आपको भी नहीं पता मैं आपको बता सकता हूं। तो गुरु कहते हैं काम कर, बहुत अच्छी बात है, तो इतना आगे निकल गया, भगवान तो बहुत दूर की बात है, तू मुझे पहले अपने बारे में बता। तो क्या करता है, अपना नाम, गांव, ठिकाना, जन्म तिथि सब बता देता है। तो गुरु कहते हैं ये सब तो तुझे पता है, एक बात बता, उससे पहले तू कहाँ था और इसके बाद कहाँ होगा? तू ये नाम, काम, ये जो जो भी सब बता रहा है अपने बारे में, इससे पहले तू कहाँ था और इसके बाद तू कहाँ होगा, पहले ये बता, फिर भगवान तक पहुंचेंगे। बता मगर, बोला मगर नहीं, पहले बता ना तू क्या है। एंड देन फॉर ए मोमेंट ही स्टॉप्स एंड ही सेज, फिर मैं कौन हूं? तब गुरु कहते हैं हम्म। और वो कहता है कि अगर मुझे 1 साल के बाद लग रहा है कि मुझ में थोड़ी अज्ञानता बाकी है, और थोड़ा बताइए मेरे अज्ञानता के बारे में। तो गुरु कहते हैं तू अपने आप को क्या मानता है? तो कहता है ये शरीर, क्योंकि मैं ही चल के आया, मैं ही बात कर रहा हूं, तो ये शरीर। तो गुरु कहते हैं कि अच्छा एक काम कर, तू मुझे भी शरीर मानता है? कहता हाँ बिल्कुल। ना ओके, तू भी शरीर है, मैं भी शरीर हूं, अगर तू शरीर है और मैं शरीर हूं तो हम कभी मरेंगे नहीं ना। बोला मतलब, ना कभी ना कभी तू मरेगा ना। बोला हाँ। तो फिर कौन मरेगा? ना ये फिर बैठ गया। बोला ना, व्हाट इज दैट? फिर गुरु कहते हैं कि चल ठीक है, मृत्यु भी बहुत दूर की बात है। एक काम कर, तू मुझे छू के बता। जस्ट टच मी एंड लेट मी। गुरु के हाथ को छू लेता है। तो गुरु कहते किसको छुआ तूने? आपके हाथ को छुआ। लेकिन ये तो मैं नहीं हूं, क्योंकि मैंने जैसे कहा कि किसी ना किसी दिन ये मरेगा। तो ये तो मैं नहीं हूं, तो क्या तूने मुझे छुआ? अच्छा, और एक बार कोशिश कर। तो पैर को छू लेता है। वो तो पैर है, मैं कहाँ हूं? तूने मुझे कब छुआ? अब वो बैठ गया वहां पे। कहता ही, क्योंकि तर्क खुद देता था ना, अब तर्क में खुद फंस गया है। तो गुरु बोले अभी यही बैठ और यही सोचता रहे कि तू मुझे कैसे छुएगा। हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू टच मी? और वहां बैठ के ये सोचता रह गया। गुरु वहां से उठ के चले गए। वहीं बैठा रहा, सोच रहा है, सोच रहा है, सोच रहा है। फाइनली उत्तर नहीं मिला। गुरु के पास गया कि मुझे एक समय था जब मुझे कुछ पता नहीं था, और एक समय था मुझे लगा कि मुझे सब कुछ पता है, और एक समय है कि वो समय के बाद भी मुझे समझ में आया कि मुझे कुछ नहीं पता। अब क्या करूं? गुरु बोले अब अंतरात्मा की खोज शुरू हो सकती है। बिकॉज यू हैव लिव्ड बोथ द वेज, नाउ यू कैन गो इन टू दैट पाथ। अब चुप बैठ के ध्यान कर। And that's where he started his journey. But in this mid of the story, there is a typical thing that I want to remind you all. कर्म को कितने लोग मानते हो? लगभग सब। क्योंकि जो भी करते हो वही कर्म है ना। वो चाहे दृष्टिगोचर हो, चाहे श्रवण में हो, चाहे वाचक में हो, चाहे मन में हो, ये सब कर्म बन जाते हैं ना। अच्छा, इस कहानी में एक जगह पे गुरु ने कहा कि तू मुझे छू के बता। नाउ आई वांट टू आस्क यू वन थिंग, कि बहुत सारे कर्म करते हो आप और कर्मों का फल भी भुगतते हो। अच्छा, the question is, have you touched anything ever? क्या आपने कभी किसी चीज को छुआ है? क्या आपने कभी किसी कर्म को किया है? Now contemplate on that. कि अगर कोई मुझे छू नहीं सकता, मैं उन्हें कैसे छू सकता हूं? इज इट पॉसिबल? इसका मतलब मैं बस एक यंत्र को चला रहा हूं, और वो यंत्र जो कर रहा है मुझे लग रहा है मैं कर रहा हूं। राइट? जैसे हम कार चलाते हैं तो मैं कार को चला रहा हूं। अच्छा, उसके अंदर से एक बोल्ट निकाल दिए तो कार नहीं चलेगी। फिर आप कैसे चला रहे हो? उसी तरीके से ये जो बॉडी है, ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक यंत्र है, और इस यंत्र के माध्यम से जो कुछ भी हम कर रहे हैं, मुझे लग रहा है कि मैंने खाया, मैंने देखा, मैंने चखा, मैंने ये किया, मैंने वो। क्या किया है? Have you ever touched anything and have you ever been touched? It's not possible actually. इसीलिए शुद्ध चैतन्य आत्मा हमेशा प्रकाशमान रहता है। और जब हम ये समझ में आता है कि अगर ये शुद्ध चैतन्य आत्मा है और ये कभी भी किसी चीज के साथ ना बंधा है ना बांधा गया है, then in that moment you will realize that ये तो हमेशा से मुक्त था, मुक्त है और मुक्त रहेगा। और तब आपको वो समझ में आएगा कि वो जो मिट्टी का घड़ा था, the body, in that there is the elixir of life. अमृत उसी मिट्टी के घड़े में है। लेकिन किस भांति? जैसे एक भिखारी के पॉकेट में कोई एक बड़ा सा हीरा डाल के चला जाए और उसे ये पता भी ना हो कि उसके पास हीरा है, he will live his entire life like a beggar. And what has happened to us? That is exactly what it is. The pain, the gain designs our life. And we forget that what is exactly within that pot. और उस यात्रा को हम शुरू नहीं कर पाते। And in order to connect back to this source, because it has been quite some time, and for the past 3 weeks we have been doing this, I believe 2 to 3 weeks we have been talking on this part, because you can know the entire world but if you don't know yourself. So I believe like at times ABCD, visiting ABCD is also good, but that ABCD itself is huge enough. So please close your eyes. Now we will go into inner questioning with the simple statement that we understood now. जो एक simple तरीके से एक बात किया हमने, उसी जिज्ञासा के साथ अपने अंदर उस सवाल के प्रति we will start an inner query about that. बहुत ही सरल है. So while you are sitting with your closed eyes, now literally review your entire life in front of you. And while reviewing the entire life, with the clear consciousness that you are the pure soul which has never been tainted, which has never been affected, which has never done anything. इसने ना कुछ किया है, ना किसी को छुआ है, ना किसी से बंधा है, ना ही कुछ किया है. अगर ये चीज को आप देखना शुरू करो, if you start looking at it from the beginning of your life till date also, you will observe a beautiful state there, that you have never done anything in your entire life, but just being the observer of it. आपके होने मात्र से है, आपने ये सारे चीजों को देखा है, जाना है, समझा है. And I want you to be that person who has just observed all the things. कुछ भी नहीं किया उसने, ना इस जन्म में, ना कि इसके पिछले जन्मों में. All that you are is the pure soul. All that I want you to do is realize that you have never done anything. And if you get this, if you are able to connect to that, you will realize that you can be free of your karmas. Which is absolutely possible through your own realization. जब ये सत्यता का बोध आपके अंदर उतर जाता है, the truth enters into you, then it is no more darkness within. There is always light of the divine shining within you. So just sit there and with the same mind that questions everything, ask the question to yourself. अपने आप से वो सवाल करके दे कि सच में जो जो चीजों को मैं मानता था कि मैंने किया है, have I really done anything as such? जैसे शरीर एक यंत्र है, like body is a mechanism, the thought is also a mechanism. And without the thought and the mind and the body, nothing can be done. Just imagine I take away your body and your mind. What are you apart from that? Can you say, if I take your body and mind, you won't be there? ऐसा तो नहीं है, क्योंकि जब आप गहरे नींद में उतर जाते हो, when you go to deep sleep, both these things don't exist. But you do. So in that moment, what are you? There is no imagination required. There is no creativity required. Just question is, then who am I in this moment? When there is no body, when there is no mind, yet I exist. And my existence itself is happiness. Just become as silent as you can. And when you are aligning yourself, your breath, the mind, the body, everything automatically becomes stable. And in this life, decide that you will live with this wakefulness. With this wakefulness that all that is being done, all that has been done, and all that will be done will just be done through the instruments. And I have been, am, and will be always, always, always the free Atman. And that's where Vivekananda says, Amrutasya Putraha. You are the son of the divine, the everlasting bliss. And not only absorb the radiance of bliss, just spread it across. Because the one who has found the light within, they become a giver. Because they cannot keep it to themselves. It might be the serenity that they believe in, they live in, the happiness, the ecstasy, the bliss. Whatever they experience, they just radiate it out. Decide that this time you will awake to your true self. Or rather, instead of postponing, you accept and realize yourself to be the power of the infinite creator. And connect with your source. You have lived a life where you just believed what others said. You have lived a life where you have questioned everything. Now come to a space where rather than questioning, you become the answer. You become the nature. You become the divine itself. और इस क्षण में आपको एक अद्भुत शांति का अनुभूति होगा. एक ठहराव आ जाएगा. There would be a motionless state. A slow movement from Sushupti towards Samadhi. All this time, you have been connecting to the space unknowingly. Now, when you know yourself, connect to the same source, absolutely aware that you are connected. And as we said, you cannot not experience God. You cannot not be God. When nothing was there, you were. When there would not be anything, you will still be there. All that matters is not matter, but you. Now see your huge truth that you have wrapped in this small little body. अपने विशाल स्वरूप को देखो जिसको आपने एक छोटे से शरीर में बांध रखा था. Open up. Let go beyond your body. Experiencing that wave of blissful things coming your way. The blissful waves coming and hitting you. It's like you have gone and you are standing in front of an ocean not made of water, but an ocean made of pure divine love and ecstasy. And as you are standing at that footsteps of that ocean, waves after waves of bliss, waves after waves of happiness, waves after waves of ananda just come and bathe you with it. And you are just there, absolutely experiencing the divine shining as the sun on you, experiencing the divine all around you, with an assurance that in my own creation, oh my child, who you are, me as well. You are safe. You are cared for. And this time, let's walk back home. And suddenly you become that child who just wants to hold that hand of the divine. Hands are not big enough to hold the entire hand. Might be one little finger you are trying to grasp it. But the moment that small little kid holds onto the hand, it absolutely creates a heaven within. And amazingly, the divine just becomes like you. Now there is no face of the divine, as there is no face of yours. Yet you both look at each other, and a burst of smile, a burst of happiness happens within. Completely soak into that, dip yourself into that divinity. Paint yourself with divine. Just do whatever you want to do in that space. Create a new relationship with that divine. Take the final plunge or a jump into absolute silence, because here there won't be any difference Even there is no God, even there is no you. It's a very simple process, as if you are going to sleep. But this time with wakefulness, with complete consciousness that you are the divine itself. Deep silence, absolute peace. Complete merging, absolute oneness. In this space, you are Tattvamasi. You are that. Be there for a little bit while, a little bit more time. Okay. So now slowly bring your consciousness back to the body. You are able to hear my voice clearly. Slowly realizing your body by feeling how the body feels, the temperature outside, whether it is cold, humid, or hot. Just experience that through the outer layer of the body and making it a returning point. Return back to your body, becoming aware of where you are sitting, how you are sitting. Become aware of everything there. And then slowly bringing your thoughts now. Slowly take a deep breath. Release it through the mouth. One more time. Release. And final time. Breath in. Release. Now you can take your time to open your eyes. And without much of a movement, just observe your body, your thoughts, and your mind. Just for a few seconds. Feels like an internal bath has been done. So if you want to drink water, you can drink. And as we all know, these are all the preparations again for the next upcoming 9 days. So if you are able to feel, you are able to connect to this space, let's do it again from the next Saturday, 17th, we will be beginning that. So actually, I don't want you to come out of that, but I have to bring you out. So try to keep up with this connectivity as long as possible. And don't worry, even if it goes when you go out of this space. It's not about holding it tightly. It's about letting it go so that it can rebound back to you. So don't even hold on to your experiences. Let go of that so that something new will appear. With one thing, with one answer that I want to just give is भगवान से मोह. अगर भगवान से मोह हुआ तो क्या होगा? भगवान से मोह हुआ तो यही होगा जो अभी हुआ. संसार से मोह हुआ तो यहीं रहोगे, उससे मोह हुआ तो उसके साथ जाओगे या उसके साथ रहोगे. So one binds, one liberates. And I think if you get attached to the divine, nothing like it. So don't worry about your attachment to the divine, because that one attachment will free you from all other and with this, I'd like to stop here and want you to think over. कभी भी समय मिले, just keep this one thought in your mind. Have I really touched anything? Have I really done anything? And that instant moment, you will experience your freedom again. पहले तो आपके कर्म से पहले हट जाओगे, और कर्म से हट गए मतलब the currency of this world is done, clear हो गया, debts are clear. And anyways, for the next upcoming 9 days, we will go again into the same queries. Might be in a deeper way, might be in a different way. And might be some people would like to listen to the same old stories again. So whichever way it works. But all that you need to do is just keep on experiencing these. Might be as a small little spurt within you, might be a small little moment when you connect to that. But I would like to say one thing. People ask, if I just connect it once, what will happen? I'll say, just do one thing. Touch a 1100 kb wire once, just for a moment, and tell me what happens. It is exactly what will happen to you even if you touch that divine for a moment. Because after that, you will not be there. So all that we are trying to do is like to hold on to that live wire. And yes, I like to say like, yes, by looking at all of you people, the efforts that you put in, even it is good to choose the divine. It is better to be chosen by the divine. And I believe like you all have been chosen. So this time, make sure you cross over. All that efforts, all that things, all that mantras, all that jap, all that realization, all that experiences, all the things. It is just to keep you reminding again and again that you are that. But without those also, you are still that. A sky without clouds is still a sky. And you, without all that you think yourself to be, you are still that. And what could have been a better way? Or what could have been a better time to realize? सत्ययुग में तो सारे लोग जाग जाते हैं, आप कलयुग में जाग रहे हो. That means that grace is there. And may that grace always be there on you. And finally, discussion between Rishi Yagyavalk and his wife. Rishi Yagyavalk was talking about Atma, what it is, what its source is. He says, when you love someone, don't love because they look good or they are great people or because they also like you. But love them by seeing the divine residing within them. And then you will not able to differentiate between a living and a non-living also. Because whenever you fall in love with a flower, you don't expect that flower to love you back. But in that, you see the beauty. And yet in that, the flower smiles back without even you knowing it. You must have seen flowers when you are angry. The flower does not look that beautiful. And you see the same flower when you are happy. And when you are happy, from my personal experience, I can say, when I am happy, I have never seen anything ugly. And when I am unhappy, I have never seen anything beautiful. So all that beauty and ugliness is not there outside. It's all my creation. All that heaven and hell is not out there outside. It's all my creation. So all that I do is to keep that happiness alive within me and spread it across. So meet you all again on Wednesday with your questions. And thereafter, a long journey together again of 9 big days. Let's see who survives again. The survival of the fittest. So we'll go back to our basics. We will again hit back to the queries. Until then, keep that question for this time. One way is मैं एक का भी अंत करता हूं. And the second is have I really been touched or have I touched anything? With this beautiful thought, I would leave you. Have a blissful, blessed day and night ahead. Rather, a life ahead. With this, remember, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. What you are, so am I. What am I, so are you. Har Har Mahadev.